We are going to determine whether this given curve is symmetric with respect to the x-axis, the y-axis, and the origin. And we are going to do this without graphing. We can first see if the curve is symmetric with respect to the x-axis by replacing y with negative y. So everywhere in this original curve where we see y, let's put in negative y and then simplify. So negative y cubed, that's going to end up being negative y cubed, and this negative will come out in front of this term. And now what we want to do is we want to determine if this is equivalent to our original equation, which it is not, because this is different. This term is negative and this term is negative, whereas they were not in the original curve. So the curve is not symmetric with respect to the x-axis. And to see if the curve is symmetric with respect to the y-axis, we will replace x with negative x. And so here's the original equation with x replaced for negative x. And this negative x squared becomes x squared. And this negative x in the denominator makes this a plus 1 over x, where it was minus 1 over x before. And again, we want to see if this is equivalent with the original equation, but it's not, because this was negative. So it is also not symmetric with respect to the y-axis. And to see if the curve is symmetric with respect to the origin, we replace both x with negative x and y with negative y. Here we see the replacement of x with negative x and y with negative y. And when we simplify, we end up with this equation. And if we multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1, we end up with this, which is the original equation that we started with. So therefore, this curve is symmetric with respect to the origin. And it is interesting to note that although the curve is not symmetric with respect to the x-axis or the y-axis, it is symmetric with respect to the origin.